If everyone could please be seated. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Wells. I am the Senior Vice Provost for Lifelong Learning, and this year I've proudly served as the Acting Dean for BDIC. On behalf of our entire faculty and staff, I would like to welcome you to the BDIC Senior Recognition Ceremony as we acknowledge and congratulate the BDIC class of 2025. I know many of you attended the commencement ceremony yesterday, and I hope you enjoyed the experience of celebrating with over 6,500 graduates at McGurk Stadium. This ceremony is a bit more intimate and focused on the BDIC experience. I'll date myself a bit here. When I was your age, we were heavily influenced by Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where I think the famous quote was, "Life moves pretty fast." And I think that is more true today than it ever has been. And I think what's relevant about the speed at which the world is moving is that BDIC has a rich 50-year history, over 50-year history of letting students tailor their degree. But the ability now, given how fast the world is moving, is that experience is really, really pertinent, that students are able to pull from different subject matter areas. And this is where the future majors are defined in BDIC. It is the ultimate innovative sandbox. And I think these graduates should be very proud of being in that type of experience and curating their own degree pathway. We are delighted to provide you with this opportunity to celebrate your accomplishments with your family, friends, and fellow students. Remember, this is your moment. You are now a college graduate, a member of the UMass Amherst class of 2025. Another round of applause. I would like to make a quick note that the BDIC director, Jacqueline Castledine, has to send her regrets, was unavoidably detained at the last minute, and she's very sad to be missing out on this, but I wanted to make that quick note. At this point, I would like to introduce Barry Spence to the podium, undergraduate program director for film studies.
Good afternoon.
Just lower it.
Yeah, since I'm shorter. It is a distinct pleasure and privilege to speak to you as part of this transformative occasion. It is my service both as undergraduate program director in the program in film studies and as the supervisor for students doing a concentration in film studies within the BDIC major that grants me the privilege of standing here. But it is the celebratory pleasure at witnessing these young scholars fledged and ready to take wing into the next stage of their lives. It is this pleasure that makes me happy and urges me to make a few remarks here in token of praise and gratitude. For 5 years now, the interdepartmental program in film studies has enjoyed, grown, and benefited from a close interdisciplinary collaboration with the BDIC program. During this time, we have incubated a new film studies major within BDIC by means of this collaboration, one that should, within the next few weeks, receive final approval from the Board of Higher Education. And 12 of those students graduating today have, through their commitment and dedication, significantly enriched film studies here at UMass. They are the 5th cohort to graduate with this special concentration. It is no exaggeration to say that the future of this discipline as an official field of study at this institution is in large part enabled by the persistent involvement and hard work of these young film scholars and filmmakers. Many of these students have written, filmed, and edited their own independent film productions. They have written screenplays, film criticism, and an interdisciplinary scholarship. They have created videographic essays and podcasts, and this year they all but swept the prizes in the prestigious Michael S. Royf Awards in Film Studies. Yet others have studied film at universities abroad, have done a wide range of internships within the industry, and have strengthened and led the undergraduate film community on campus. I speak to you directly now, Jean, Maria Paula, Maggie, Miles, Danae, Joel, Sebe, Dominic, Liam, Nick, Sammy, and AJ. Thank you for pursuing your dreams in the study of cinema, and thank you for helping to build a strong major in film studies at your now-to-be alma mater. Yeah, I'm not quite done. The virtues of self-discipline, self-determination, and forthright with initiative are justly associated with all BDIC students. It takes a strong-willed, self-possessed person to design and pursue one's own major. I want to suggest that the further terms, intrepid, courageous, and pioneering, might also be associated with this graduating class, for we have before us those students who, having spent their last year in high school in the remote learning of the COVID pandemic, were the first to emerge and return to in-person learning at the university. Those were difficult times, as I am sure we all remember, and these students weathered the brunt of those challenges and did so at a key transition period in their lives. What I have witnessed in them during these 4 years is the development of an admirable depth of character, maturity, and sense of purpose. I am especially proud to stand here and celebrate my film students and their attainment of the light and promise of this new beginning, and I do say my students, for all of them took classes with me, and all of them brought depth, meaning, and insight to my classroom. But this august occasion is not a time to be possessive. Allow me to close with some words from a filmmaker these students have heard me revere in many of my courses, Andrei Tarkovsky, a filmmaker whose works offer a deepening access not just to the nature of cinema, but to reality itself. These words are the prayer of the central protagonist in his film Stalker. Let everything that's been planned come true. Let them believe, and let them have a laugh at their passions. Because what they call passion actually is not some emotional energy, but just the friction between their souls and the outside world. And most important, let them have hope and believe in themselves. Let them be helpless like children, because weakness is a great thing and strength is nothing. When a person is just born, they are weak and flexible. When they die, they are hard and insensitive. When a tree is growing, it is tender and pliant, but when it is dry and hard, it dies. Hardness and strength are death's companions. Pliancy and weakness are expressions of the freshness of being, because what has hardened shall never triumph. Now I, your former professor, hold wide the doors of the world and welcome you forth. I raise my hat and my glass and toast you. All good fortune, make us proud. Please welcome to the stage BDIC Associate Director Rebecca Schwartz.
All right, thank you, John and Barry. Hello, class of 2025. I always have the pleasure when someone asks me what I do for work. I immediately say I have the best job in the world because I work with the most amazing students, and that is all of you. I believe I've been with BDIC long enough now that I can say you're all my students from start to finish. I'm so excited and incredibly proud of each of you, and I know your future will be bold, innovative, and full of fascinating choices. It is now my pleasure to introduce this year's student speaker, Ilana Krebs. She is a dual degree with a Bachelor of Art in Portuguese and a Bachelor of Science in BDIC with a concentration in environmental microbiology. Ilana was president and captain of the UMass club swimming team, a member of the Pre-Physician Assistant Club and the Reproductive Justice Club, and the Permaculture Initiative. She was on the Dean's Student Advisory Council Board for the College of Natural Sciences, a UMass admissions tour guide, and a recipient of the 21st Century Leaders Award, an honor given to only 10 students from the entire undergraduate class. Please welcome Ilana to the stage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome faculty, family, friends, and congratulations to the class of 2025. So, here we are. 4 years ago, we all stepped onto this campus as strangers, unsure of what the next chapter would bring. Some of us came with a plan, others with more questions than answers, and let's be honest, a few of us definitely were drawn here by the promise of #1 dining. But what we all had in common since the very first day wasn't just the confusion that comes along with starting something new. It was something deeper, a shared sense of curiosity, a desire to break away from the usual academic paths, and a drive to create our own ways of learning. At some point during those late-night reflections, those Sunday scaries where we questioned everything, where we wondered, what am I doing? We each realized something. We wanted to ask questions no one else was asking, solve problems in ways that others might have never considered. For me, that moment came one evening in the locker room after swim practice when I was venting about the impossible task of graduating in 4 years with 5 majors. We've all faced moments like that, frustration mixed with uncertainty. But instead of accepting the norm, we turned to BDIC. With the guidance of BDIC mentors like Rebecca and Jacqueline, we embraced the chance to design our own academic paths. We combined fields that on the surface seemed unrelated: medicine and policy, fashion and sustainability, psychology and accounting, and so much more. Through BDIC, we crafted our own curricula, approached problems with fresh perspectives, and tackled issues that felt personal, relevant, and urgent. For me, BDIC wasn't just about studying what I was interested in. It gave me the freedom to explore those interests in a way that felt connected to the world. My classes weren't just about sitting in lecture halls. They were about real-world experiences and applications. Sieving through field soils to study soil organic matter, working with legislators at the Massachusetts State House on food security reforms, implementing sustainability campaigns across campus, translating for local Portuguese-speaking organizations, extracting and sequencing DNA, and working in labs researching disease-causing pathogens. The opportunity to self-advocate and create my own degree has taught me one of the most important lessons I'll carry forward into my career, and admittedly, it's likely the lesson my dad has spent 22 years trying to instill in me. Don't stick your head in the sand when things get difficult. As I step into the next steps of my academic journey to becoming a healthcare provider, I know that every patient, every situation, and every diagnosis requires a unique approach. BDIC has taught me to think critically, pull from a range of knowledge, and stay open to new ideas. In many ways, BDIC has completely reshaped what it means to be a student. For me, school was never just about textbooks and exams. It was about the connections, the conversations, and the experiences that truly brought learning to life. Growing up, I loved school for the community and friendships and was often labeled a chatterbox. And while this nickname has certainly stuck, I can proudly say I also love school for academics. What I've gained from BDIC isn't just a degree, but a lasting love for learning. Not as a student, but as someone who strives to understand the world, ask the tough questions, and build a future based on my own passions and beliefs. So, while we each came to UMass as individuals, navigating a university without walls, we leave today as a community bound together by a shared sense of possibility. We are the product of all the questions we've asked, the interdisciplinary degrees we've made, and the unique ways we've blended our diverse interests together into something entirely new. So, to the BDIC class of 2025, my parting message is this: keep following your curiosity, keep asking the hard questions, pushing the boundaries, and above all, keep innovating. Don't settle for answers that come too easily. Seek the ones that challenge you to think, to grow, and to create. And as always, go UMass.
So now presentation of the student awards. First, I want to acknowledge our BDIC peer advisors. They are the heart of our program. The peers work closely with students in the proposal writing course. They offer valuable advice to prospective students and represent BDIC at school fairs and events. Please join me in welcoming Annalise and Evelyn to the stage. So, Annalise joined BDIC as a sophomore and became lead peer advisor this year. She also worked as a teaching assistant, and she impressively managed the nearly impossible task of coordinating meeting times that brought all the peers together, a true feat of organization and persistence. I'll miss our regular check-ins, your humor, and your willingness to help. But most of all, I'll miss our conversations over the past year, or maybe even longer, when you'd get teary-eyed imagining this very moment, graduating and leaving UMass. And now here we are. This day has come, and you've already landed a job doing exactly what you set out to do when you first joined BDIC. All is well, and I couldn't be happier for you. Evelyn joined BDIC during her first semester at UMass as a transfer student. She was incredibly enthusiastic about BDIC and quickly became a natural addition to the peer advisor team. Evelyn's area of concentration spans several departments that are notoriously challenging to gain enrollment in, but Evelyn was the exception to the rule. She was able to talk her way into classes that most BDIC students can never access, which speaks volumes about her skills and her passion and her academic concentration. All right, now we'd like to acknowledge the BDIC seniors who have received university and departmental awards this year. Please stand when I call your name. UMass 21st Century Leaders Award, Ilana Krebs. UMass Senior Leadership Award, Charles Lighthouser. Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society, there's a handful here, so Celeste Wise, Nikki Hagan, Michelle Mushnick, David Lee, and Sarah Deamikis. The BDIC Mainzer Creativity Award, Cooper Anderson. And as always, special thanks to Charlie Hadley, one of the donors who we are thrilled to have here with us today. Commonwealth Honors students wearing gold stoles, please rise to be recognized. Congratulations, everyone, on your achievements. Now it is time for the recognition ceremony. Please welcome to the stage Associate Director of Professional Transitions, Joanna Miles, who will officiate as we honor all the graduates. So the first row should stand up, and then as that row comes up to the stage, the next row can join in. So come. Go, whatever you want. You're fine, either way. Okay, hold on. Put this on the phone.
Foundations of Healthcare, Annalise Henberg.
Annalise Henneberg.
Global Green Space Design,
Evelyn Ronan.
Environmental Microbiology,
Ilana Krebs.
Philosophy of Business Law,
Matthew Vasily Politsky.
Fashion Merchandising and Marketing,
Ava Natale Grant Masana.
Interior Design,
Mia Elizabeth Gustafson.
Communicative Marketing and Advertising,
Grace Ferguson.
Entrepreneurship and Real Estate Management,
Margaret Elizabeth Mulry.
Business Communication,
Emma Rose Kindlin.
Biomedical Neuroscience,
Sarah Jane Diamisis.
Visual Communication and Consumer Behavior,
Ainsley Carissa Vaughn.
Aviation Science and Management,
Teresa Hernandez.
Strategic Leadership and Behavioral Science,
George A. Metelsky.
Nonprofit Management and Marketing,
Thomas James Cox.
Game Design,
Evan Yashua Halevi.
Entomology,
Tyler Schwab Bonnen.
The Neuroscience of Pediatric Brain Cancers,
Leor Cohen.
Business Communication,
Alyssa Deborah Peck.
Interior design.
Julia Connell.
Equine rehabilitation.
Hannah Danielle Yarisa Finkel.
Film studies.
Liam Michael Rollins.
Graphic design and multimedia.
Alicia Chanmuni Chung.
Guided music exploration and management.
Caitlin Marie Jankowski.
Assistive technology and rehabilitation science.
Jem Patrick.
Interdisciplinary art and design.
George Daniel Balomenos Kessler.
Creative direction.
George Lacouture Adams.
Environmental social science.
Nicole Hagan.
Entrepreneurship, marketing, and design.
Olivia Morgan Hinkler.
Integrative health science.
Divya Meenal Raghunathan.
Film studies.
Jean Manuel Castro Colon.
Film studies.
Danae Antoinette Holmes.
Solidarity economies.
Cooper Theodore Anderson.
Sustainable food and urban systems.
Bryn Pellegrin Wilkie.
Graphic design and marketing psychology.
Heather Marie Spangenberg.
Writing and media.
Kelly Ann White.
Music, business, and law.
Carly Jane Scheidemantel.
Graphic design and fashion.
Sika Tran.
Media psychology.
Samantha Kim Power.
Film production.
Charles Edwin Lighthizer.
Media, technology, and culture.
Emily Sarah Sankachan.
The syntax of genes.
Emily Grace Miller.
Documentary and wildlife photography.
Blas Akazitli Serda.
Photojournalism.
Jameson Mariner Rin.
Fashion merchandising.
Casey Jade Cole.
Digital media marketing.
Shanti Matea Furtado.
Dance education and management.
Madison Elaine Farmer.
Immersive design and gamification.
Jingwei Song.
Criminology and law.
Michelle Muchnick.
Museum studies.
Catherine E. Thomas.
Film studies.
Miles Carey Hiller.
Film studies.
Steve Kennedy.
Film studies.
Joel Lewis Jansowitz.
Film studies.
Samantha Faith Van Horn.
Fashion marketing.
Ashley Marrow.
Communicating innovative ideas.
Rowan John Paoletti Newton.
Italian fashion economics.
Michael Champa.
Human ecology. Elizabeth Schoenfein Janot. Animal behavior.
Celeste Leon Wise.
Film studies.
Anthony Joseph Payson.
Film studies.
Maggie Lee Gardner.
Music technology and business.
Ryan Goldberg.
Sustainability and marketing integration.
Anna Marie Lauren Romano.
Film studies.
Dominic Richard Papalia.
Let's give a round of applause right now. Okay, one last order of business. I don't know, as several of you probably did this in the McGurk ceremony yesterday, but I would like to take this opportunity to have all the graduates take their tassels. Mine's kind of glued over here, but you're starting on the right, okay? And we're going to do this in unison to confer your degree. And at the same time, let's go right to left. Congratulations. UMass class of 2025. We've really been honored to celebrate this with you, this occasion. And one last note, I would just like to make sure everyone knows after this, please join us out into the atrium area, the lobby area for cupcakes and refreshments, and we'll continue the celebration. So thanks again.